Hello, I'm Matt the Funny Board Gamer and welcome to the DICECT review. Today we're going to be taking a look at Furnace, which is a 2 to 4 player card game with auction mechanisms, tableau building, engine building. It's published by Arcane Wonders and designed by Ivan Lashin. So in Furnace you play as 19th century capitalists looking to purchase buildings, produce goods and basically earn as much money as possible. So let's head to the table to see how it plays. So welcome to Furnace. This is a typical 2-player setup. As part of setup you get dealt a random starting building and a random special ability. There are 5 different special abilities and buildings I think in the game, so a little bit of variety there. And the way the game plays is split up into 2 phases. You've got the auction phase where you'll be bidding on these cards. There's 6 of these in a 2-player game. There are more cards with more players. And then you're doing a production phase where any cards that you have in your tableau, you will run, produce resources and hopefully gain some money. So, how does it play? Quick overview. On your turn, let's say if the red player is a start player, I will pick up one of my discs, 4, 3, 2 or 1, and I'll place it, let's say, on there. Then the yellow player, the second player will go, and they'll go, maybe I am thinking I might want that card. So I'm going to go at big guns with a 4, so I'm guaranteed to win this card. And then in a 2-player game, there is a bot where you would roll a dice and they will go on card number 4 with the lowest possible number. In this case that would be a 1. And then you keep on going. So let's just quickly say 2 had gone there, 4 had gone there, add a 1 there, and then we'd had 3, 1, 2, and the AI player had gone something like this, for example. So the AI player doesn't do anything other than just win the bids. In this case, that card would just be discarded. Player number 2 didn't win up, so red player didn't win this, but he did gain the compensation, which is I can trade 2 coal in for a oil. I can do that twice because my token that I won the compensation with is a pair of 2. Unfortunately, I don't actually have enough coal to do that, so that was a bit of a waste for the red player. For the next card, again, the red player would win this card because he got the highest bid, but the yellow player has a 2. He would get the compensation. He could trade 2 coal, or he would get 2 coal, sorry, so he would get 4 coal for that one. So I take 4 coal from the supply, 4 coal from the supply. I will stick these on my card because you can't see these on a black background. So all the tokens will come back. The red player won the bid, so he would get that card and it would just go in the tableau. The AI player wouldn't get anything, but the yellow player wins this card. Simple as that. And then you keep on going, you resolve the rest of the cards, and then simultaneously everybody would look at the cards that they have and they would action the cards. So if we look at the yellow player as an example, I can convert 2 black cubes to coal into 2 money. I can do that twice, so effectively I give up 4 coal and take 3 money. And that is pretty much the whole game. I would run all my cards, do all my production, get all my money, try and get as much money as possible. Round marker would tick down 1 to number 2. You go again with the auction phase and then keep on going to the end of the 4th round, and then whoever has the most money wins the game of Furnace, and that is pretty much how you play it. So let's head up to the top and let's dissect Furnace. So you've seen how the game plays, bit of an overview there, not a full rules breakdown, but hopefully gives you a good idea of how the game plays. So let's start off with D for duration. The game typically takes between 30 and 45 minutes. It is a relatively quick auction and tableau building game. The main game is split into 2 phases. You've got the auction phase and then the production phase. The auction phase is usually relatively quick. You literally just placing a tile down on your card and that is it. The production phase can bog down at higher play counts, and with people who are prone to analysis paralysis, they'll be figuring out every single combination, every single card, making sure they get the most out of it, which is fine, but that pretty much is a heads down and you are looking at your own thing, so there's very little interaction in that phase. And at the higher play counts and with analysis paralysis prone players, that can drag on a little bit, but that is more an issue with the players rather than the game. But generally relatively quick to set up, quick to tear down and quick to play. So I for interaction. Well, the interaction is very much divided into two sections. The auction phase is very interactive. You are trying to figure out what buildings your opponents may want, trying to figure out how much you want to push, whether you go with a 2 or 3 to try and get that consolidation prize, and then hopefully not winning the card that you may not want to win. You may want actually to lose the bid, but you want to lose the bid with a higher number or a high number. So all that auction, that interaction there is really good. It's really good fun. The second part of the game where you're doing the production, there is no interaction. You're pretty much just heads down, concentrating on your own tableau, concentrating on your own engine, and trying to get the best out of what you've got. So it is split. I like the interaction in the auction phase, but then I also like that time to think about what I'm doing on my own production and getting the most out of my cards that I've got. Some people may not like that. Some people may think it breaks the game up a little bit, but for me, I quite like it. I like the interaction at the auction, and I like that separate production phase where you're pretty much doing your own thing. So C4 complexity. Well, like I said, it is a fairly quick game, and the rules go with that as well. It's pretty light on the rules. I have taught this to gamers and non-gamers, and nobody's had any issues picking up the rules. The auction mechanism part of it is pretty simple. You place a token. That is it. If you win the bid, or if you place the highest token on there, then you win the card. That goes into your tableau. If you don't, you get the consolidation prize that's listed at the top of the card. And depending on the token you've used, depends how many times you get that bonus. So if you used a 2 and you get 1 call, then you get 2 call. Simple as that. The production phase, again, is relatively simple. You know, it tells you exactly what you're doing on your card. You trade 3 call, get 4 money. Easy. 3 call into the supply, you get 4 money. You can upgrade a card, great. You flip it open, you got your upgrade token. And it is pretty much as simple as that. However, the depth of the game comes in what you get. What cards do you want? How much do you want to push for that consolidation prize without actually getting the card? Because that might not be good for you. You might want to actually lose the bid. But if you put a 3 in there, then the chances are that you may actually win that card. Somebody may bid you with a 4, but that's the risk you've got to take. Whereas if you put a 2, you may not win the card, you may get the consolidation prize, but is that actually enough? Do you actually need a higher power for that prize? So that's where the depth and the complexity comes from. Like, it's not a super deep game, it's not super complex, but for the length and type of game it is, I think it's pitched at just at the right level. Like I said, I've taught it to gamers, I've taught it to non-gamers, I've taught it to my parents, and they all pretty much get it. E for engagement. Do I feel like a 19th century capitalist? Well, not really. The theme is not really there, it's pretty much abstracted out everything you do. The buildings don't have names on them, they're just general production buildings, but I still find the game engaging. That auction mechanism, trying to figure out what you want to win, what bid you don't want to win, what consolidation prize you want, that is always tense, that is exciting, and that is engaging. I'm always interested in the outcome of the bids. I'm interested in where I'm going to place my tokens and where my opponents are placing the tokens. If they've gone a 3 somewhere, does that mean they want it? So should I outbid them, or do they actually want the consolidation prize and do they want to be outbid? It's all very exciting, it's all very interesting. It's often tension, like, no, please don't go there, please don't go, oh, you've gone there, you know, that type of stuff. The production phase, that tension is gone from that, but I still find the puzzle of working out what to do, how to best use your resources, how to best get the most money, I still find that part of it engaging. So overall, I think Furnace is a very engaging game for me. So it hits the right spots for me in terms of complexity and time-wise. And yeah, everybody I've taught it is always engaging the game. C for components. Well, components are fairly good. You saw in the overview there, there are pieces for the 3 different resources. There's cardboard chits of good quality, wooden components, your bidding tokens and nice chunky wooden pieces. Overall, the components, they're nothing amazing, nothing wrong with them. They do exactly what it's supposed to do. Perfect for the type of game it is. It's not overproduced, it's not underproduced. The cards are of decent enough quality. Everything is just fine. It's perfect for what it is. So T for target audience. Who is this game for? Well, as you probably saw and you've heard in this review, it's a very light game. It's practically a filler-ish game. You know, you're looking at potentially 30 to 45 minutes if you play with people who are not analysis paralysis prone. So it's great for that end of night game. Have you played a big heavy year, you want something a little bit lighter, something a little bit less thinky, but something that still is tense, still is interesting, still is engaging. It's not a party game by any means. It's a bit more than a gateway game, but it's not super complex. Like I said, I've taught this to my parents, I've taught this to non-gamers. Everybody can get the auction mechanism of highest number wins. The only other bit you need to explain is the lowest number gets that prize or the consolidation reward, and then the bit about the production and how to produce your resources and the aim of the game, and getting the most money. So that's sort of who it's for. It's got a wide range of appeal, I think. Many gamers are going to like this game. I enjoy this game. I play fairly heavy game and lighter games. So I think it sits somewhere in there, perfect for, like I said, end of night, or even like a beginning of game night game, or even just a midweek. We've got half an hour, 45 minutes spare. Let's crack at a game of Furnace, have some fun, have some interesting decisions to make, and also a little bit of brain power being used in that production and working out your economy and how best to get the most out of your productions. So there you have it. That is Furnace Dissected. Hope you enjoyed that. I love this game. I think it's brilliant. You probably saw from my thoughts there when I was dissecting it. Really good. Especially the auction mechanism. Really good fun. That's the bit that I really like. And then that production. I don't enjoy it as much. I still enjoy it, but the auction is where the meat of the game is at and where the excitement of the game is at for me. So thank you very much for watching. Be sure to hit the thumbs up and hit subscribe if you've not already done so. I appreciate all the support and all the subs. They really do mean a lot. Also check it below for my social media contacts. You can hit me up on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can check out my blog. Drop me an email. Have you played this game? What do you think? Put a comment below. Let me know what your thoughts are on Furnace. And thank you very much for watching. Hope to catch you on the next Dissect review. Bye bye.